A man picks a mango from the tree and kicks it toward a nearby metal barrel. Seeing he missed, he immediately kicks another. His son, watching his father's soccer skills like the Chinese national team, glances at the mangoes and decides to show off his own skills. As the mango lands in the large metal barrel, the son shyly lowers his head, trying to act modest, but unable to hide his skill. Watching his son show off his soccer moves, the father gives a dismissive smile, as everything is going according to his plan. He glances at the corner of the wall, then takes another kick. The mango easily flew into the farther large metal barrel, leaving the son utterly stunned. Who would have thought that the father, who couldn't afford to eat sea cucumber, was actually a hidden soccer master? From then on, the father began training his son to play soccer using mangoes, imparting all his skills to him without reservation. Day after day this continued for 6 years, yet no one could have imagined that this boy, who grew up in the slums and could only practice soccer with mangoes every day, would one day become a legendary superstar in the world of football. He is a player who has won the Copa Libertadores 6 times, the only legend in history to have claimed 3 World Cup championships, and has been hailed by FIFA as the true king of football. He is Pelé. Pelé. This name was originally a nickname used by his opponents to insult him, but he turned it into a name written in textbooks through his own strength and greatness. Let's go back to the day of the 1950 World Cup. All the people of Brazil were excitedly gathered around their radios, but unfortunately when Brazil faced Uruguay, sadly they lost the World Cup final. This defeat left everyone heartbroken, and his father, a lifelong football fan, burst into tears. Seeing his father cry deeply wounded the young Pelé. When his father walked out of the small bar, Pelé promised him right then,
"I'll win Brazil the cup." His father stayed silent.
He knew all too well how difficult it would be to truly achieve this goal, because he himself had once been a football player. During a match, he unfortunately injured his ankle, which left him permanently disabled. Now he could only work as a janitor to make a living. Pelé, on the other hand, shined shoes for others every day to help support the family. He was born with an extraordinary talent for football, and whenever he had free time, he would play football with his friends in the alley. The crowded and chaotic streets became their training ground, where Pelé's skills became increasingly refined. His mother didn't support his passion, fearing he'd repeat his father's misfortune. One day, a football match was to be held in the town. Pelé secretly signed up with friends without telling her. Lacking uniforms, they used old bedsheets, and one even played barefoot. During the game, they struggled with the ball, having only used cloth-wrapped ones before. When Pelé passed the ball, he kicked it so hard that it flew away. The teammates also struggled to control the ball and kept falling down, but they adapted quickly. Through their tacit teamwork, they overcame every challenge and made it to the finals against a team of wealthy young men. In comparison, they looked especially shabby. The rich kids mocked them, calling them a bunch of poor kids who couldn't afford shoes. To avoid being insulted, a friend suggested stealing peanuts and selling them in town to buy second-hand football shoes. But these shoes didn't fit at all. Ultimately, the shoes caused more trouble. His teammates kept falling and the rich kids team easily scored 6-0. Pelé looked at his father and remembered what his father had told him. Ignore others and be yourself. So he threw away those ill-fitting shoes, rediscovering the feeling of playing barefoot. Everything started to go smoothly again. Facing 3 opponents, Pelé stayed calm. His agile and unpredictable dribbling brought the crowd to their feet. Finally, Pelé trapped the ball, dribbled past 2 players, and with a gentle tap of his toe, he effortlessly kicked the ball into the goal. With Pelé's stylish goal, his teammates found their natural rhythm and state of play. The ball spun and danced at Pelé's feet, every move flowing seamlessly, smooth and graceful, dazzling even the rich kids' team.
They scored with incredible shots, quickly closing the gap to 6-5. The final whistle blew, a narrow defeat indeed, but they ultimately won the crowd's enthusiastic applause. The scout who had been watching left a card for his father, but before they could celebrate, they noticed the workers. The group scattered and ran. Bailey and Specs hid in a cave. The rain caused the cave to collapse, burying Specs inside. The worker found Four Eyes dead upon rescue. Bailey blamed himself, believing Four Eyes wouldn't have died if he hadn't wanted those sneakers. Pelé quit playing soccer and helped his father clean toilets. The dirty environment overwhelmed him. After leaving football, Pelé was constantly down. So his father picked a mango and told him he practiced with fruit as a child. Then, he kicked the mango, accurately shooting it into a distant trash can. Pelé was amazed by his father's accurate kicking. Realizing his limping father was skilled, Pelé picked up a mango and followed his father's training. At first, I couldn't control my strength, kicking mangoes too hard. I quickly mastered the technique and practiced for 5 years. His father was not only his coach but also his mentor, imparting key life lessons learned on the court. Seeing Pelé's dedication, his mother stopped preventing him from playing soccer and contacted the scout to watch him practice. Scouts had long coveted this gifted teenager, asking Pelé to join Santos right away. Pelé embraced his mother, happily dreaming of entering professional ranks. For the first time in 15 years, Pelé left the favela in a scout's car. The coach demands everyone forget catching the ball and learn European-style play, specifically forbidding toe kicks. Pelé, really trying hard to change his style, now can't even hit the goalposts. His old style is ridiculed by teammates. He starts to play intensely competitive dodgeball. A scout saw Pelé leave, leading to scouts pursuing him. The scout asked Pelé why he gave up. Pelé couldn't play like anyone else. If you don't return to school now, you'll be cleaning toilets in the future. Scouts explain why coaches dislike the Jogo Bonito style of play. It's an old Brazilian style, but after Brazil's 1950 World Cup loss, it was deemed undesirable. Now coaches learn European play style. Scouts encouraged him to bravely be himself. If his father guided Pelé, the scouts discovered him. Pelé returned to the field.
In the first half, the opponents led by 3 goals, and the scouts on the sidelines were applying their own tactics. After receiving the ball, Pelé dribbled past several players and then scored with a successful bicycle kick. At that moment, the coach called Pelé over.
What on earth was that supposed to be exactly?
I'm sorry.
Do it again.
After receiving affirmation, Pelé scored 4 goals to defeat the opponents. After that, the coach never asked him to change his style again, and within a year, he advanced from the youth to the professional team. In pro matches, he showcased his skills, dribbling past opponents with dreamlike footwork to become the top scorer. This 15-year-old prodigy quickly entered the public eye, and Pelé became the hope of the entire village. For every match, his father would cheer for him in front of the radio. At 16, Pelé became the youngest member of the national team, and their goal was to win the 1958 World Cup. However, the national team coach dealt Pelé a heavy blow by forbidding his flashy, flamboyant style. Fearing a repeat of the mistakes of 1950, he believed this play wouldn't stand up to the international stage. On the eve of the World Cup, disaster struck. Pelé twisted his knee during training. With no time for a replacement, he traveled to Sweden, receiving treatment while also undergoing rehabilitation training. The Brazilian team fought their way through to the quarterfinals, but 3 players were injured and unable to play. Pelé was in the starting lineup, but was so nervous he felt nauseous. His knee was still fragile and couldn't take any impact. When he stepped onto the World Cup pitch, the tens of thousands of spectators made him dizzy. He'd never seen such a breathtaking scene. Throughout the entire match, Pelé felt as if he were sleepwalking. Fortunately, his teammates played well, and Brazil advanced to the semi-finals to face the powerful French team. Pelé made several mistakes and lost possession. By the end of the half, France led 1-0, which dealt a blow to Brazil's morale. In the locker room, a dejected Pelé asked to be substituted. However, the teammate who once doubted him urged him to play the Rengia style, saying it was their only chance to win. Starting the second half, Pelé still avoided the Rengia style, his inner strength seemingly sealed. When he looked at his teammate, he saw unwavering confidence. Pelé defied the coach's tactics. He wanted to break free from these restraints. Pelé rushed forward for a tackle, skillfully dribbled past several players into the penalty area, and with a volleyed shot, equalized the score. At that moment, his father in front of the TV, and his teammates on the field, all erupted with excitement. In contrast, the proud Europeans fell silent, dismissing it as luck. Immediately after, Pelé scored again. Their faces were filled with disbelief, just like the 5th emoji in your phone. Before they could recover, Pelé was already attacking with the ball again. He dribbled with his back to the defenders, smoothly broke through, stopped the ball, then used 2 consecutive feints to shake off the defense, and followed up with a powerful shot. Brazil scored once more. Pelé's hat-trick was a showcase of his skills to the world at just 17 years old. With that goal, Brazil successfully advanced to the 1958 World Cup final. But then, everyone fell silent because their next opponent was the Nordic giant, Sweden. In skill and experience, Sweden far surpassed Brazil. Defeat seemed certain. At the press conference, the Swedish coach mocked Brazil as a bunch of cripples, citing their physical flaws. Hearing this, the players felt even more inferior. Back at the hotel, Pelé saw his dejected teammates and asked.
He ignited his teammates' fighting spirit, suggesting they dribble the ball to the distant lighthouse. His teammates scoffed. "Stop joking, let's eat." Then, a teammate chimed in, "Maybe that's exactly what we needed to spark our ambition." More and more responders stumbled from the restaurant to the kitchen, then from the kitchen to the lobby, creating a complete mess. Amidst cheers and laughter, these Brazilian kids dribbled the ball to the lighthouse. The coach was deeply moved, believing Brazilians should play with Brazilian flair. He abandoned all tactics, encouraging the team to unleash their unique skills fully, showcasing their Brazilian style regardless of the outcome, promising a truly spectacular performance. The World Cup final arrived quickly. Countless Brazilian fans gathered in front of TVs, hoping Pelé would perform a miracle. With the whistle, Pelé was tackled hard while dribbling. Their goal is to stop Pelé's solo performance. Sweden attacks fiercely, breaking through the defense, and scores the first goal in just 4 minutes. Europeans applaud wildly, convinced Brazil is doomed. At that moment, Pelé looked up and saw that only a small section of the huge stadium was allocated to Brazilian fans. Seeing their expectant eyes, Pelé's fighting spirit ignited instantly. No one respected Brazilian football, so he would prove them wrong. He unleashed his Ren family skills again, single-handedly dribbling past defenders. Ren family footwork stunned audience. Then a feint fooled the goalie, teammate received the ball, and tapped it into the net. At this moment, the Brazilian people erupted, and confidence visibly returned to the faces of his teammates. Pelé ignited the team. He embodies the footballing heart of Brazil. Brazil scores again. The Nordic giants are truly stunned, and their fans are in utter disbelief. The game goes on. A true global spectacle unfolds. Brazil controls the ball and is completely dominating possession now. This wasn't just a game. It was truly a stunning and brilliant performance. Even European fans rose to applaud respectfully. Pelé's header sealed the victory. At this moment, tears welled up in every Brazilian's eyes, and even these arrogant Europeans were conquered. Finally, Brazil convincingly defeated the Nordic giants 5-2 to win the World Cup, and Pelé fulfilled his promise. A 17-year-old football star rose to prominence. He ushered in the era of King Pelé, leading Brazil to 3 consecutive World Cup titles. The only regret was never defeating China in the World Cup. From a slum kid to a football legend, this 17-year-old black boy vividly proved that age, family, pressure, and setbacks are no excuse to abandon your dreams. Only unwavering perseverance can create an enduring legacy.